With a presidential election now in the home stretch, GLP-1s still the hottest drugs on the market and a growing trickle of IPOs too. We're looking at how to navigate biotech stocks with the Yahoo Finance Playbook. And joining us now is Evan Seigerman, BMO Capital Markets Managing Director, Biopharma Equity Research. Great to see you, Evan, on set.
Great to be here on set. Always fun to come downtown.
So, Evan, on the show already, we've talked about the Fed, we've talked about AI. It means there's only one big trend left. And it's in your wheelhouse. You're the guy for it, GLP-1s. You know what's amazing is I went to a family dinner recently, and there was a cousin of mine who had been taking the GLP-1. Literally, I almost walked past him.
That's amazing.
I mean, it was amazing. Now he is, he is mixing that in. He's hitting the gym. He's got a trainer, but it was remarkable. I'm just curious, that trend. I mean, is it as hot, Evan, as it was? You know, we had you on 6 months ago, 12 months ago. Would you say hot as ever?
It's hot as ever, and we just got out of the European diabetes meeting last week. And there was even more data showing how important these drugs are, really putting Lilly and Novo at the forefront. We had data from Novo's oral amycretin, some Roche data that disappointed, which only points to the market leaders of Lilly and Novo and how they're going to maintain their dominance through the end of the decade.
And yet, the two stocks that you came here with today as your recommendations are not GLP-1 companies.
Hey, listen, I always have Lilly and Novo. I want to talk Regeneron and Vertex, and for what it's worth, Regeneron does have some work in obesity.
Okay.
So that is still there, but Vertex, a great biotech stock, that's not solely tied to the GLP-1 trade.
But I guess what I'm asking is, are you still bullish on the GLP-1 trade? It's just, you should look beyond that? Is that what you would tell investors?
I think that Lilly and Novo are likely to remain, outperformers, this year and next year. But I think when looking at the whole portfolio, there's other great stuff happening in biotech, which is why I like Vertex.
Gotcha.
And make the case for Vertex.
Let's make the case for Vertex. So Vertex, the leader in cystic fibrosis, a rare genetic lung condition. They sell about $10 billion of their core franchise. They're going to have an approval early next year that gets them basically the next generation approved, could help them pick up patients that they had lost for therapy, helps them reduce their royalty rate owed to another company called Royalty Pharma. Beyond that, the big one, early next year, they should have approval of their non-opioid pain medication. I think this is huge. This would be used after someone has a mild to moderate surgery. So instead of a Vicodin being prescribed, they're going to be prescribed this. And given the opioid crisis, I think that there's going to be rapid uptake. I could see $2 to $3 billion in this setting. And if they get the chronic setting, remember, Lyrica sold $5 billion at peak. So that's $8 billion potential, on the horizon for Vertex.
And what is the advantage of this over, are there any addictive
It doesn't act in the brain, it acts in the periphery, so it's non-addictive, and it works very well. I think that's what's key, getting opioids off the street.
One of the other things that's interesting that Vertex has been doing has been partnering with CRISPR on a couple of things. I believe one of the projects it's sort of backed away from, but still involved with others, CRISPR, the gene editing company. So what are how far away is that stuff?
So the drug that I think you're referring to is called Casgevy. It's been approved. Right. And this is a cell therapy to treat and essentially cure sickle cell disease and beta-thalassemia. That's present elsewhere in the world. But this is a real cure for some of these patients.
But uptake hasn't been huge, has it?
It's super slow. These patients, their blood cells need to be harvested. Then they have to find a time where they can be in the hospital for at least a month to, go under immunodepletive therapy, kind of knock out their immune system, and then re-engraft them with their edited cells. So it takes 6 months. So it's quite a hurdle, but it really works, and it's really transformational for these patients.
You've made the case very well, Evan. I'm ready to pile in.
Sounds
Before
good.
I do, what are some risks I should think about with Vertex?
Some risks you should think about. The stock's trade in the high 400s. It's already had a great run this year. Not quite Lilly or Novo-like.
About 20%, right?
20% is not bad, right? I think the risks are that this launch that I described in pain isn't as strong. That a competitor comes to the market in cystic fibrosis. We really don't see anything meaningful near term, but that could always happen. Or that one of their other pipeline assets doesn't work, right? That shifts sentiment. We saw that in 2020 when they had a blow up in October of 2020.
Evan, we'll have to have you back soon to dig into Regeneron.
I would love to do that. No worries. We'll talk soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Appreciate it.